like from cooking, because yeah, it's not on me.
No. And you
It's
look
not
good.
on me. How
As
about
usual.
you?
Look, this is what Julia Zell eats in a day.
But she says she's got an eating disorder. So that's what I don't get. Sometimes she goes one direction, sometimes she goes another direction.
I think she's trolling.
Could be. She's got to make those monies.
She does. What is the name of that song? Sunflower in the Night or whatever?
Sunflower in the Shade. I'm sorry. I know you don't watch me, Julie Zog, but that I
La,
can't.
la, la,
I wish she would
la,
change
la,
up
la,
her
la.
I wish she would change up her, like, I get she's trained in classical opera, and so that is kind of like what she's trying to do, like mix it in with, like, it's just not working.
Yeah,
the only one that successfully did that was Freddie Mercury, right?
Yeah.
He mixed in a little opera. Hey, Loretta. It's
Hey,
good
Loretta.
to see you.
But her whole album sounds like one big long song.
It's one big song. Yeah, it's, and she pays to produce it and record it and everything herself. So she said she's put all of her money into it, so it has to make it. And it just don't appear, hey, Diane,
doesn't.
That it's making it.
What is making it? I mean, I guess if I made a music video.
You're so sweet. Thank you, Loretta. I would suppose, like
what if I made a video and 100,000
trend.
people or 300,000 people watched it? Is that success for us? It would be.
Well, I think she sells it on Spotify, not iTunes.
It's on iTunes. She's got a whole album on iTunes.
How much is her album? Like $9.99?
Probably like $9.99 for.
Yeah, no.
It's like $1 a song or whatever.
Yeah. No, my friend. So you guys, yesterday, y'all, when I fell and I tried to play it off.
How many? There's only a handful of people in here right now.
But they're probably the ones that saw it too.
You guys, yeah.
So
how we cut the stream off abruptly.
You know how when you fall, you're slightly embarrassed. You're trying to figure out if you are hurt, how hurt you are, how bad it's gonna be, whatever. So I went to switch a load of laundry, and I go to step over the baby gate because that's how we keep Sawyer out. And I don't know if any of you guys have this, but I have one side that's weaker than the other. So I can lift my right leg and swing it over and do whatever, but sometimes when I'm coming back and I try to use my left leg, it stops just short. And I think that's normal to an extent. So I tripped, and then you saw where our couch is, so then I flung forward and hit it right here on the arm of the couch hard. So yeah. I'm sitting there, I'm checking on
kind of knocked out a little bit.
I was trying to make sure all my crowns and teeth, because I chomped hard. I did bite my tongue a little bit. Do you, Loretta? Okay, so she says she has a weaker side too.
Well, everyone has a lead leg that that you lead with, yeah. Oh. And if you really look close, with your lead leg, your shoes will wear out faster than the other shoe. Like the one side will, yeah.
That's very interesting. So I came back. There was no, because my choice was right there to be like, when he was like, "Are you okay?" Be like, "No." And then
I was blabbing to y'all about something, and
it was loud, right?
Bam! But
did y'all hear
it? Looked, and the cats go running past me and everything. And I look, and everything seemed in place.
It was bad. But today, other than sore jaw, a bruised jaw, I gotta say my neck isn't sore. It was the best that it could. But that is why all of a sudden I came back on and was like, no, we got to probably go.
Yeah. And I didn't know what it was.
Too.
She said something like,
I tried to make it
whatever, like something
happened in
like
there.
Something broke, a window broke, or the pipe burst or something. She was like, we just have to. And I was like, okay.
And then I went to bed. So that was
I didn't want her to go to sleep right away, because once she described to me what happened to her, I thought maybe a concussion. So she was like, I just want to go to sleep. And I was like, no, you can't go to sleep.
Well, yeah. Anyway. So anyway, all is well. And the last couple of really bad falls that I've taken, surprisingly, I mean, I've had a, pretty hefty bruise, but I haven't had anything catastrophic. Like when I did it at the ski lodge house, whatever you want to call it. I remember when I fell, and
I remember when you fell back around the back of my parents' house at the wedding. Remember that?
Oh, I was mad at him too.
She-
I tried to walk up.
She falls and then she looks up
I
at me.
tried to walk up the gravel thing with heels. That didn't work, and they had just like laid pine straw on either side of it. So I was like, okay, well this makes
It's at my
sense.
daughter's wedding. It was
This
after
is
my
in
daughter's
more of
wedding.
a cushion, you know, whatever. Well, it's very slippery when it's thick and new. So I slipped, right? And then you get mad at whoever you're next to.
I'm holding. She had her hands full. I had my hands full. So she slips and falls, and I guess it embarrassed her a little bit because it didn't
Megan.
hurt her. And she looks up and she goes, "And you're just gonna." What did you say?
And
like,
then, yeah, but then I got up and tried it again and fell again. And by that time, we were dying laughing.
Yes.
But you know how it is. You always want to blame whoever's with you. You're like, I wouldn't have done that.
But like, yeah, last night was so. Like, I am in a really good relationship now where we can talk about how she fell and hit the couch. And in the past, I would have hit somebody with the couch, and then he picked the couch up and ran across the house with the couch above and hit me with it.
Y'all heard the whole thing happen, and it did. My bruise I put on is literally right here, so it's like it would not be an ideal place.
Those of y'all that didn't, it's the stream is still up. It would be the last like 4 minutes of our stream.
Yeah, it was loud.
Yeah,
and the animals all came, and then the animals were like peeking around or whatever. They're like, she fell. But
they're like, hey, homie.
Tomorrow I'm gonna hang these. These are the things that we're gonna use to hang the cards up. So thank you guys. Keep them coming. We're sending them back. And Sean, I proved Sean wrong. I was like, we're gonna get some.
I wasn't. I mean, I'm not. I wasn't.
Just don't put.
I was a little, I guess, but I really didn't.
If you put black pepper in it, I won't even sneeze.
But, you know, I went to our P.O. box and there was those 4 cards in there. I was like, wow, by God, they really do like us.
Yeah. Some of them do.
Some
don't.
Some don't.
Yeah.
But, and then there was we sent a package out to somebody.
Yeah. You're the one that's waiting for the Grinch kisses.
The Grinch kisses are in the mail. I have a tracking number.
I was waiting to get a card to go with it. And I did get the card to go with it. So we did that.
And because of where I work, I can just put it in my work bag and take it to work.
He works with carrier pigeons.
I do.
He trains them. Y'all, we had to package up. Our Brahma, man, didn't make it. So we already told you a little bit about that last night, but we put it into like one of those big size boxes, like Christmas boxes or whatever.
It was like a little coffin for it.
Yeah,
I mean, it really was.
It was sucked. But the other Brahma seems to be doing fine. He doesn't even appear to she doesn't appear to even know the other ones.
Animals are, you know, because even if you have, say you have a house and you have like 4 dogs, if one of them gets sick and dies, I mean, the other dogs know.
And they look for them.
They look for them. These chickens are kind of like, well, she was holding us back anyway.
I have had more than one person, and I don't know how they know, said animals deal with death much better than humans do. Like when their time is coming, I mean, we're devastated because they're our pets or whatever, but they're far better with it than we are. And it's like, but anyways, that's very, very sad. So we won't talk about it.
It was. So we said goodbye and moving on.
And we were like, Tiny, keep an eye on these ones. Tiny's like, I do what I want.
Yeah.
Tiny said, if it's my day off, it's my day off.
I don't get to be like, I get home and it's dark and chickens go to bed when it gets dark. I have to go count the ones that are there and shut the light off. And Mandi pretty much, I mean, I feed him in the morning and stuff, but Mandi is the one that sort of watches them during the day.
Yeah. Yesterday when I was pulling out to go run an errand, I told y'all.
Hey, Diane.
I didn't post it yet, but the chickens started coming my direction, Red leading the charge. And I was like, oh, look at them. They're charging it. And then I realized they were going to get behind the car if I didn't hurry up and get back up.
When we pull in from wherever, they come running up to the car and everything. So that's kind of cool.
Red especially, Tiny's little girlfriend, runs like full speed ahead. And she thinks that we have, like, we're going to get out of the car with, here you go. Here's your food.
Yeah.
No, we still have to go inside and get your food.
It's still a pretty good video of her yelling at Tiny, though. Did y'all see that?
Yeah, I think most of them, It was so funny. I wanted to ask for y'all's help to like repost it or whatever. Not the one that says Tony. I spelled that one wrong, but
still, where is it?
Nobody might not know.
You put it on
my gosh.
Did you put it
I
on?
put it on Instagram and Twitter and our channel. It was so funny. Our family thinks it's hilarious. They're like, and then he tried to bitch back at her, and I was like, "Oh no, Tiny, you might as well just take this one because you can't say it. You ran right up that hill."
It's not on here. Oh yeah, it is.
It is.
Yeah.
Maybe I should revamp it and redo it or what have you. So what are you guys up to today? I don't want to sound like a weirdo, but are y'all, can you see the chat, or is it just nobody wants to talk?
Over there without you? Did Tiny go up the hill without you? You better get him. Yeah, that's what I said. He sure did. He went up that hill. There he comes. Look, he knows he's in trouble. You ran up that hill and left her behind, and now you in trouble.
Anyway.
It's funny. And then you'll hear him go, "Ah," and I'm like, oh no. And she sits there and stares at him as he walks off, and then she's like, well, you better stop walking if it's only going to get worse.
He like walks right past her, you know.
And she's like, Gabby made a good point. She's like, and she's mean mugging him the whole time. She's like, yeah, all right, whatever.
Yeah. He stops and he turns around and comes back.
He went from being assertive and not letting any hens come around him to Red won him over, and now she's in control. But she's actually a good hen.
She sits on
she's
the. She's
not mean to the other.
She gets to sit next to him on the roost now too.
Yeah.
I think before long, she'll probably let a couple of the other ones, and then she'll make Tiny like sleep outside or whatever.
He'd be like, Tiny, can you go on out
Can
there?
you go ahead and find something to do? Me and the girls are.
But it's like I said, I really like it. I like hanging out with them and
I'm amazed by it because the first, so I'm at work and my whole idea, Mandi didn't know before she was with me that she was going to have chickens.
I never knew he had chickens.
And
did anybody that watched them ever know that they had chickens in the past? They didn't at the end, but
no, that was way before YouTube. But
what I'm saying is nobody ever mentioned chickens.
But I mean, like I'm at work now, and because of it being the Christmas season, I don't even
your phone.
Oh, I don't even get to see them. Mm-mm. But anyway,
we're gonna have to go Christmas shopping for the chickens. Let's see. You have so the weaker side is the left side, but that doesn't mean you have to like go see a doctor about it, right?
No,
it's just the weaker side.
They teach you in the military too, when like how you stand when you shoot and this and that. Like I'm like right-handed. My lead leg has always been my left leg though. So when you're walking in the dark or something like that, or you're probing something, you kind of keep one foot out. Like when you're walking in the dark in your house, if you ever notice, you always keep you tap with one foot and reach with, reach with one arm when you can't see anything.
Oh,
that's your lead foot.
I didn't know that. Okay. Now I know. Mm-hmm. And I know sometimes your foot will roll differently. Like you were saying, where a side of the
when you say you jump into the pool or whatever, when you land on like the bottom of the pool, you tend to kick off with the same leg every time when you push off the bottom.
Megan, who are you going to see next? Which singer are you going to go see next? I remember you were talking about it the other day. She's already saw Lady Gaga.
What?
I think she's talking about, I don't know which one she's going to see next. But
Who was it that was saying that they wanted to see Taylor Swift?
It might be her.
Yeah.
It might be her.
But it's so like expensive to get tickets and all that.
Yeah. And they go fast. I finally saw all the parts to the stream because some people didn't catch the first part of the stream the other night, the beast stream. So I finally saw like the first part of it, and it was interesting. You said so you would bring her flowers because it was her fault you got into an argument. That's what she said. So
I'd bring flowers even if it was her fault?
Right. So I want to start arguing.
Okay.
We're going to have to work on this. And I want you to bring me flowers. Now, who brings flowers if it's not my fault? Do I bring you flowers?
I mean, people bring flowers home just because.
Yeah.
Why'd you bring flowers? Reasons.
Yeah, but the bigger point is I'm not a big flower person. Like, I like them.
Yeah.
The first Mother's Day Tanner was in Germany. And,
right. Yeah. So I got the flowers, but you're not a flower person.
No. You were a flower buyer. Where'd you buy the flowers at?
I wasn't really a flower buyer. I mean, I think that it's a sweet thing to do, but like you would probably get flowers more often, but you were pretty clear, and I don't mean it in a bad way. You were kind of like, oh, and they're sweet, but it's not like bring you a flower on every Tuesday or something.
Bring me a bean burrito with extra onions.
Yeah, see,
that's mine.
I bring her a burrito every Tuesday.
No, but I just thought that was interesting, trying to keep up, and it just wasn't a very big reveal. It wasn't. It kind of, once again, you came out looking like the one that had been taking care of her. And
it didn't have everybody in stitches.
No, nobody was in stitches, and then that was kind of like it. And like I said, even Durizzle had to say, "Dude, you're obsessed," and I was like, and she don't like us, so.
No. Well, I don't think, but when you talk about someone like Durizzle, she can't really maintain a relationship with anybody really for very long. She's kind of flipping around back and forth, but
right. I just thought it was interesting that she let me see that ornament. I'm gonna let them hear my ornament.
Which one? This one?
The green one.
Oh yeah, this one's pretty cool.
Oh no, I have that must be weird. Okay, so this, I gotta redo the picture on it. I got this and it was like a ornament that you can record. Like, whatever.
You can
go in and you record it.
This
is not it, but you gotta go inside and record it. So I took the picture out of this one, reasons, because it was my kids and my ex, so I'm putting a new one in it. So this was in 2006. So my son was 6 and my daughter was 8.
2005.
It says 6.
Oh, I thought it said 5 on the back.
Oh, maybe 2005, New Year's 2006.
Yeah.
Okay, well that makes more sense. So here we go. Ready to hear it? I used to cry every time. I don't anymore.
Hi, I'm Chloe. Merry Christmas. Hi, I'm Tanner. Happy New Year.
So that big soldier that I post
17 years ago.
That I post on my thing, that was his little bitty voice.
Hey, Danny.
I never knew at the time that I made this, like, how cool it was going to be. But Sean knows when I've got to change the battery to it, I'm like, okay, don't touch the button inside or whatever.
The first time I heard it a couple times, and then the first holiday we were together. The second holiday we were together, she pulled it out and it didn't work.
Yeah.
And she was panicky.
It was getting a little...
like it had been erased or something.
But it's really hard to erase it. But anyway, one more time.
Hi, I'm Chloe. Merry Christmas. Hi, I'm Tanner. Happy New Year.
Isn't that cool?
You will always have that.
I'll always have it. And I
won't drop it in the battery.
I know.
The battery won't fall out.
You don't think at the time that you make it that, almost 20 years later, it's just something fabulous.
That's 17 years ago, babe.
It's a long time ago. I think he was in Iraq right?
2000, or he was just getting back, probably. Didn't he leave like 2004 when I was getting home?
I'm not sure. A family member actually gave me that. And sometimes you get things like that and you're just like, oh, and you put it in your stuff and you didn't. This time I actually did it. And that's what we ended up with. So I am looking forward to having that forever.
Oh, a thought just went into my head, and I don't think we're gonna.
What?
No, I'll just say it. You'll know what I mean, but then I won't go on. Who lost the wrench? Okay, we're gonna move on.
Oh, yeah.
yeah, we'll move on.
People losing wrenches all over the place.
That's right. Take that wrench. Not
People
here. Not in our
chat. But if you can't be trustworthy,
That's
if you
right.
cannot be, what is it? Calm, consistent. What is the words?
Calm,
Come
cool,
on.
and collected.
No. The one where it's like, I was not in a caring, committed, consistent relationship. That's what she always says about you. So now the one that lost your wrench, you're not in a caring, consistent, committed relationship.
Wrenchless, whatever.
But anyways, Right now, Hobby Lobby, usually they've only got like 40% off of right now. Yeah, a lot of people, some people get very upset when they lose their wrench.
Yeah.
Hobby Lobby is 60% off their Christmas stuff. Usually it's 40 and then it gets to 50 as 60 right off the bat at 60%
Yeah, well,
off everything.
but that's somebody that decided we can sell a lot of stuff if we just call it 60% off.
Well, I think they just have so much back stock. But guess what I realized, and I've been seeing it for about a week now, but today I actually used it. I had his Wells Fargo card set up in my Apple store, and I don't want it. Like, it's no controlling, no nothing. I don't want it. I like our process of I get the money
Okay,
to.
but I need to tell this story because.
But I tested it.
So she's like, Sean,
and it worked.
Sean, when I go to the checkout,
it pops up every
your
time.
the debit card pops up, and that, I mean, and I wasn't sure if it really was working or not. So I kind of put it there and it went bloop, and it was like, it charged right there, and so it worked. So I said, okay, let me see your phone. So I grabbed the phone.
And I said, take it off. I don't want it.
So I'm looking through it, and I go, you used it twice. And
I was
like, you went, okay, well, whatever.
Well, we had to do twice to make sure for sure.
Yeah, it's like, oh, okay, so I used it twice. But
I remember the first time it popped up on there, and it was like, hold close to point of sale, and I was like, I think his debit card's on. And
the really funny thing about it was both the pet stores.
Yeah,
there was Petco and PetSmart. There was two different charges.
It was kind of funny. But like I said, it's not like a controlling thing. I don't want access to it at that level. I like saying this is what I need for the day, and then he sends it into my little thing.
I'm happy to do it.
Yes.
I am.
It is. It works out.
It was kind of funny though, because she was like, and it pops up.
Well, because I was like,
okay.
I knew you were
like, no, and
I knew you were gonna look at it and be like, Apple sale.
Yeah. No, well, I would not know. I would know.
He would know till
I would when I went into the bank to check my account, and then I would see the transactions, but I don't know if it would say buy Apple Pay or it would just say a debit.
I don't know what it would say, but anyways, it was funny. I saw that there's a couple of people that are talking about Leticia again. Is
she in jail still?
Is she back on the grid? What's going on with her? I thought she was long gone.
Yeah.
Thought she was making license plates at San Quentin or something. Is she still?
I'm going to tell you something.
Bopping along.
She milked it though. I was surprised that she stayed free as long as she did.
Okay, it's same, Danny. That's kind of how we do it.
That's
kind of how we do it. She said she's got one that she puts on, and then it gets paid off.
You have a bill that I need. Torrid.
Oh, yeah. Torrid gave me a.
Yeah, they
gave me a credit card. But I don't think that the first bill's here yet.
Yeah, it came in the mail. It came with a bunch in the mail.
Okay, we'll pay that.
All right.
No, I'm just kidding.
I'll pay them. So the minimum payment is $8.
Their clothes, Torrid's clothes aren't very. I'm not crazy about them this year.
Well, I mean, but still.
Yeah, I know.
Credit card.
But I mean, I'm just saying I didn't like. It's not the best or whatever.
But it was cool. We're building our lives together. One credit card at a time.
So what is everybody doing for Christmas? I'm curious to know who's traveling maybe for the first year since COVID finally settled down. Who's staying right in their own house?
We're traveling. I'm traveling to work and back every day.
I know. It sucks, but he works at the post office. So there is no of all seasons.
You know what I do though? I was talking to some of my coworkers, like when I have my 19-minute lunch break or whatever.
You put that way over there.
Somebody was talking to me about how a postal worker that got fired because of that. We have the absentee ballots for all the elections, everything. And I guess, so every day at the end of the day, we have to take the absentee ballots and they have to get delivered to, wherever, the courthouse or wherever it is that you take them.
When is that going to be done?
It's a couple more days.
And it'll be done?
Yeah. So here,
Raven.
There was somebody was talking about how a postal worker got fired because it's just, instead of taking the 100 or so ballots, they just dumped them in the garbage and went home because they needed to go home or whatever. And which is wrong. I mean, but
I've heard of that before.
But
it was someone that worked with you.
So it was in a very conservative part of somewhere like Alabama or Georgia or whatever.
Wow.
So I go to Twitter and I just type in something like postal worker gets fired just to see if it comes up. And the people
Thank you.
that leave comments there they don't know what they're talking about. It's like you pick a political side and you can take any story, then you just can
tailor it to that.
Yes. So it was like someone's comments were, and that's just what the liberal agenda is. Take all the ballots and throw them away so the liberals win. And I was like, it happened in one of the most conservative parts in one of the most conservative states. Like Dawson County's got like 10 Democrats in the whole county.
Oh
but
my
anyway,
gosh.
It's crazy like that.
Trash Raven says, you look so healthy and happy.
Thank you. And a little tired, maybe, but I appreciate it. I appreciate it. Sometimes,
he's not gray and ashen anymore.
Every once in a while, someone shows, or I just see it, where somebody shows a clip from where I was, or even my old vlogs. You can go back in my old vlogs and look at them. I'm different. I guess I'm different. Am I different, babe?
Yeah, you're totally. I was trying to see what he was chewing on. He took the squeaker out of his thing.
Oh, no more squeaker for you.
That's his baby over there. You can have it. Okay, so yeah, like I said, I always one of the things that I had said to Sean during one of the many breakup and reconciliations was every time this happens, and this, like I said, it was a group on a hangout. I said, Sean, every time this happens, you literally lose a little more color.
Really?
Yeah, I was like, you literally look like this could eventually kill you. It's that hard on you.
And if you remember those little groups that I was in,
yes.
She wasn't even in them. Remember that? It's like when I was with her, there'd be like little group texts and there'd be like little hangouts, like hangouts that I was in. She wasn't even part of them. Mm-hmm. I was just kind of like representing us. Mm-hmm. And she's got no desire to collab, to be in anything like that. It was just so bizarre. It was almost like I felt almost like a campaign manager.
Yeah.
Or like, you know what I mean? Like I just was like, all right, what do I need to go smooth over today? Okay, let me do a vlog about this.
But this was when y'all were split up.
But still, I mean.
Yeah.
And then when we split up, yeah. Even when we were split up, I was like politicking and stuff like that, But
I could tell we were there's about 4 people on a hangout, and I said, because everybody was like, you can't do this.
This is very telling, because
and I said
we got to paint when it was. This was after.
I know I have.
It was after the hurricane when she went running back to Jacksonville, and I was staying in Asheville with my friend. And I was just out in my car.
I remember the people that were on it. I'm not going to name them, but there was about 4 people. Hey, Aziz. And I said, everybody was saying, you got to, it'll get easier, get away, da-da-da-da. And
one person even said, I will send you money every month. Like, I will support you. Not support me, but, I guess that was the first time I heard, like, in YouTube, it's like, I will give you whatever every month if you don't go back.
Right.
That's what somebody said. It was really weird.
And you could tell Sean was like being nice, but at the same time, he had that addiction going on. He had a trauma bond. He wanted to go back, and so I said, look, none of us particularly have anything invested in your marriage not working out. Like let's make that. We all need to agree with that. Nobody gains if your marriage doesn't work out. But what we're seeing is someone who is declining. Mm. And I said, at the very least, I remember one of the other people in the call said that you needed to go to Al-Anon. Remember that? And they said it's not just for not just because it's. And I was like, and I would say that the healthy boundary would be that you have to go to therapy, individual and couples.
Yeah.
And you did it, right?
Yeah, we kind of did.
I need to grab a fingernail clipper.
But that was crazy. Sometimes Mandi, we'll reflect on that, because Mandi was my friend, but at that point, she was sort of a friend of a friend, because there was a couple people that were on that hangout that you guys all know who they are. They're on doing other channels and stuff like that. A couple different people, and
I was like, look, you want to talk about a crazy marriage? I got one too. Yeah. Not forefront, but
at the point, hindsight, there was this hangout going on, and everybody was trying to, kind of you need to do this, you need to do that, and then there was Mrs. ATX at the time was kind of like, yeah, whatever, she was,
Yeah,
it was kind of like, can't tell you what to do.
Right. I said nobody knew the details. I was like, what I've gone through in my marriage over the last 5 years, lots of people would say, no, you need to end it. And I get that. And when you're not ready, you're not ready. If you don't want to, you don't want to. What goes on, what makes things work for one couple may not for the other. But what I identified with was he was retired military and my husband's retired military. I have mental health issues. He was with someone with mental health issues, and I was like, I get it. It's crazy. I know what you deal with is not a normal thing. It's crazy. But not only is it crazy, it's killing you.
Yeah.
Slowly, we're watching you just lose color. I just didn't understand the trauma bond at that time.
Yeah.
The addiction to going back to it. I didn't understand. I just thought he was madly, deeply soulmate in love with her, and it, I guess maybe. Thank you. I'm gonna start. That's my best places in the car to do the vlog. Yeah, because I can. We both
do. About 90%, 95% of the vlogs that I ever did were in my car.
Yeah. Even if I don't have makeup on, who cares, right? In the morning.
Sometimes you have like 40 minutes. You get in the car and it takes you 20 to get to where you are, and you got another 15 before you go in. And
y'all remember way back when I would talk about truthfully, Trisha, I would say, dude, you're married. You're not on the market. Put them away. Do y'all remember that when I would say that? Your vlogs with ducks in the road, Sean. You had ducks in the road.
Your vlogs with was it ducks or was it a turtle? Remember when there was one where
you said it was your girlfriend.
There was a one.
Why, Sawyer?
Yeah, I guess there were ducks in the road, but there was the one was when I stopped and I got the turtle and moved it to the side, and I think we were seeing each other when that happened.
You were, because you showed me.
Yeah.
We are good. We are good now.
Aziz, so the USA plays Netherlands in the knockout round, right? Am I right, Aziz? So US versus Netherlands. I'm hearing, right?
Very cool.
That'd be good. That's going to be a good matchup.
It says way back when you stopped and watched ducks. I remember that.
It must have been, what was I talking about in it, though?
It was way.
Because I had ducks before. That's not, sorry, you're knocking their screen over.
I remember.
I will do whatever I want to do.
I remember when I finally found your channel before the Break the Silence thing, and you were talking about shark teeth and stuff.
Yeah.
And I was like, this cat ain't bad looking.
Yeah.
What's he doing with Crazy?
This is my Sawyer Brown
That's
right
Sawyer
here.
Brown.
This is Sawyer Brown. And this is Sawyer. He is a Shih Tzu.
Yes.
He's a 3-year-old
Sean
Shih
is a
Tzu.
turtle saver. The Beast is a turtle killer.
Yeah, that's the
How
funny
are you doing? That might be good merch.
At the turtle. We just couldn't see eye to eye on where we were with turtles. It's
turtles are cute. We've almost kept a couple.
Yep. I mean, even since we've
there's
lived here.
There's Andy jumping in real quick. I put
Hey,
my son to
what's
bed.
up?
Just wanted
What's
to
up?
say
What's
hi
up?
on the subject. We were completely fascinated. Sean could last living with her. I remember it was like long before YouTube. Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah,
how
so you guys got to understand, and y'all that listen to Paula when Andy came on. I mean, I've known Andy since we were like under 10 years old. I mean, we grew. There was about 4 or 5 years where we lived in the same town. Obviously our moms are sisters and all that. So way before there was YouTube, way before there was anything that anybody saw, Andy, we were going to family events and weddings and stuff, and he had a full dose of it way before any of y'all did.
I should think that because I've been with your family, it takes quite a lot to get banned.
Yeah, it does.
That's not very
We
easy,
have got some stuff that go on without letting y'all inside the family. There's drama there.
There's a lot of
There's a lot of
acceptance.
toxic relationships here and there in the family, and yeah,
Mine too.
it takes a lot. My mother is, these are her son's partners, so she loves her sons, and she gives, our partners every chance to even when they're completely batshit crazy. And Trisha's not the only one that fits that bill. Let's just say that. It takes a lot before my mother will go, you can't come in here anymore.
Yeah.
So, I mean.
And the ugly ass shell angel that used to sit in the kitchen, that ugly ass glue, that went away. The second there was, you was like, oh.
What about the crosses that Katie's making? Maybe we can get one of those.
Katie,
girl. What's she been up to? I haven't heard of her in the last 3 days.
She lost MFW versus World, so now she's plugging her. She's not going to do Facebook Live. There's no money to be made on Facebook Lives. Yeah. I don't know if it's going to be.
She's got to get on there and just do whatever and hope.
You're right. It says Andy said she's the only person that was never ever allowed. Just too much of a risk to be around our children. That is. Can you imagine? Being someone who people they can't have you around their children.
And Andy, it's not just the Curleys. There was other crazy people, right? I mean, there's been a few of us that have had.
I just want to hold you.
But, they were good enough to be,
But that's telling.
To be around the family, right? If it was my girlfriend or your girlfriend or whoever's girlfriend, even if they were crazy, they could still coexist at the family gatherings.
And you at least have to have you. She needs to cover herself up if she's going to be around.
Yeah.
No, I'm serious. Like, Sean's parents to do that. That's how. Yeah, exactly.
All right, Andy. He said, "Love you guys. Ooh. Talk soon."
This little puppy, this little puppy, this little puppy. I know. I'm gonna put you down.
Yeah. Every time that Andy comes in, it's funny because I'm like, oh. Here's somebody that knows.
The funniest story that was told to me while we were there was one of his aunts.
Oh, you guys got to hear this story.
Had sent some clothes home that were supposed to go home with them to go to Becca.
So what it was is we were living in, and we were living in Rhode Island at the time, and so there's family that lives in upstate New York. There's family that lives in Rhode Island. There's a lot of family that lives in Massachusetts. So we had all kind of converged on one of the aunts' houses, one of the relatives' houses. There's probably a dozen of us there, 15 of us there. I was with Trisha. I don't know if I was married to her yet.
It was pre-banning.
But so anyway, there were some clothes. One of my aunts, one of my other aunts was like, well, I have a soon-to-be stepdaughter, was Becca, and probably at the time Becca was probably 10 or 11
and
years
Trisha
old.
was a big girl.
Oh, Trisha, a big girl. Big girl. Woo.
So she said, when we were telling about it, Sean doesn't remember, he's like, she comes out.
Well, there's a lot of things that happened that they just didn't tell me.
She came out.
So they gave Trisha, I'm just telling them, they gave Trisha the clothes to give to Becca. And
she went into the bathroom and put a Juicy Couture track suit. You know what I'm talking about? That the kind of velvet for a 10-year-old or someone that was very petite. They said they don't know how she zipped it, but they don't know how her boobs did not completely fall out of this thing. That's how, and everybody just kind of looked at her like, but she immediately went into the bathroom and changed into it. And it was something that was made for a petite preteen.
God damn.
Hey, Michaela, that made me laugh. I have to admit.
And the thing is we're sitting at the family reunion. And I didn't even. I'm like, listening to this, and I don't even. Recall
she was like, "You don't remember that?" You're like, "No."
I was like, "No."
Yeah, and she said that they were like the zipper was like bulging, and the fact that there was no nip showing, and this is his family.
Yeah,
like
it's not like we're all out, like It'd be bad enough if we were like out into town or something. It's just our family.
She's just always been trashy.
It's trashy.
She's trashy.
It's the lack of...
And the one thing, Sean's family is not as trashy. Yeah. So they bring her kind of like, and all she had, I mean, it doesn't matter. We've all got a story. So, trashy is as trashy does, but trashy is as trashy does.
But, that's a good way to, I have a very...
what are you doing?
I don't know how to say it. I know they're my family, so I'm biased.
They're good peeps.
They're good people. They're, fairly well educated. And they're, positive in society. Everyone, works careers and I bring this in,
Yep. Just like a little suit that did not, like, her whole body fit into and came out and they were like...
What do you guys think? And it's like, it's not for you.
Yeah, that's what she said. Too.
Something like those are
I
for.
thought those were for whatever, and so it was.
She's like, but I can, yeah. And that's the thing.
And
That was one of the
just
things that could happen.
One
Like,
story, and they didn't. Nobody really talked about her, which is cool. Nobody really. They all
That's
just
the
were like,
thing.
"Sean, good man."
they were just happy that I was
that
back.
he was back.
That I
But
was back.
That was one story that they kind of were like. She was like, "Let me tell this story real quick," and she told it, and I was like, "That does not surprise me."
See, and that's how you would get your time back with my family. So you guys remember we were at OBX, and it's probably, and there was at one point 50 family members, and so in this great big old house, in the so
it was
you
62.
But I mean, just saying at one time.
Oh, okay.
At the peak, it was 62,
Yeah.
but just we averaged about 50 there, and 3 different stories and this and that. You might go to this part of the house, and it'd be a group of family members reminiscing and talking. And you would go down to the pool, there'd be another group. So that's kind of how Mandi met everybody over the course of 5 nights.
Baseball.
Yeah,
They had a movie theater room with
Yep.
baseball.
with the baseball game on, and so over the course of 5 nights, that the beach, the pool, the house, Mandi met my family, and you pretty much talked to just about everybody.
I did,
Everybody had.
It was a good time. It was a very good time. But in the vlogs, when I started doing the vlogs on the way to work, I had no idea that the way that they would be received, and it was flattering and humbling, because normally I was just talking about whatever, some about recovery, thoughts on things. I'm gonna get back. It's hard to turn on a camera like this when you're not with somebody and to have it flow like I used to. So I'm just gonna start jumping in the car.
Yeah, I mean that's the best way to do it.
I'm gonna jump in the car and go do it.
I mean it wasn't very hard for me to do the Tomahawk Sean channel, because there was always some crap that's going on in the head, like, oh my God. And you just, like you say, you turn it on, and you do one take for about 10 or 15 minutes, and then I post it. Those are the best ones.
Yeah.
Nothing like those vlogs, and there's a lot of people that do them. A lot of YouTubers do it, where you can see where they cut it.
Yeah.
Hello, and you can they just every 10 seconds they're cutting to another scene, so they just get it exactly what they want to say on their vlogs, and they're editing the crap out of it. I never did that. I just kind of.
It's good if you're doing like tea spills where they're recapping like stuff that Trisha Payta does and stuff like that, because it needs to keep moving. But just a personal, vlog in the car, just to kind of, I think that it's better if it's not. Sometimes
just turning it on and just speaking from the heart, like the one about Lily. I just turn it on and talk about my dog that she slaughtered.
But there was no need for that.
No.
Yeah, so Trash Panda lost power for 2 hours, and she thought she was going to have some fish die, but they made it.
Oh, that's cool. I mean, when you have an aquarium, you got to keep that.
I remember when
flow.
The power went out in Virginia one time because it snowed so deep. People were using like the one generator that they had to keep the filter going for their fish.
Yeah, and it was like the most important thing they'd have going on. Is it a saltwater aquarium?
I think she said it's a freshwater aquarium.
What are they? So Danny says, every turtle shell has 13 sections on the middle of their shell. There are 13 full moons for, every year. Around the outside edges, 28 sections. Makes you think. And she goes, I like turtles.
I like turtles.
Oh, she has cichlids. She has cichlids.
Oh.
Yeah.
I used to have African cichlids, and then I had another semi-aggressive tank. We like fish.
Yeah.
We just haven't done it yet.
You got to raise the cichlids when they're little with other fish, because if you throw a big old cichlid in there, they'll eat everything.
And the African cichlids are very, very pretty when they're little. Sometimes when they get bigger, not so much, depending if it's a female or a male, but they'll kind of turn a brown color.
As long as you give them space.
I'm glad. Fish, you can get attached to fish. I've had a few fish before that I was attached to.
Before we got the chickens, when we first moved here and we were figuring out how we wanted to decorate this place, we almost got an aquarium. We almost had, and then we went full off the deep end as chicken farmers.
We are now chicken aficionados.
Yes.
And leave some to be desired so far. I had a rough year.
Yeah, but we learned a lot. Right now we've got 7 really good ones. So
And they're laying eggs. The
one looks
silkies
like
are both
LeBron
hens.
James.
He does really. There's
So
a hen that looks,
there's an Americana chicken.
it's like
And it's got this like fluff of hair, that underneath all, so it looks like LeBron. So
it does help with anxiety. And you know what? I'm glad that you said that. I used to have one in my bedroom, and it was a semi-aggressive tank with like tiger barbs and things like that. And the most relaxing thing at night would I go lay down on the foot, towards the end of the bed and watch, because it's like you're watching this whole society interact. You know what I mean? That you don't have to be, you can't control it. You don't have to be
and it's
involved
water,
in it.
so it's kind of like a
Yeah.
it's kind of like a flow.
You start watching who's chasing who, and
So over here where the filter is, the water maybe run a little. So they get there, they gotta swim through it real quick to get out to the other side. And
makes
this
me
and that.
want one. I would fall asleep lots of times just like this.
We have like a wave
Sars
machine.
Beth says I want a tattoo of an Americana rooster sleeve so bad.
Yes, we have
Sars
2 Americanas.
Beth was on, and I won't talk too much about it, was on Real Stream News panel the other day. And she's sweet as can be, but all hell broke loose. DC Media jumps on and everybody's going for it. And finally, Sars Beth goes, I'm going to jump off because this isn't really my thing, but thank you.
Is that what she
She was very sweet.
Whose was it? Which
It was
one?
Real Stream, Real fucking drama.
Yeah, the
She was so sweet.
Creek
But
Stream News.
she sat there. I mean, people are hurling obscenities at each other and and she
She's
kind of
like,
goes,
"Okay, well,
I'm going to say goodbye. Thank you.
Yeah, thanks for the time.
It was cute. She's like, I'm going to exit stage left.
Oh my
That
gosh.
would be kind of a cool, though, half sleeves. You are a nice girl. You looked very, it was so funny. I mean, DC was saying, whatever, her and Katie, and you've got this and you've got that, and yeah, you suck this for that. And Sars Beth is like, I'm gonna go and go.
I'm gonna go over here and talk about this tattoo that I want. And I'm gonna try to find
funny.
a picture
It
of our
was really
Americanas here, see if I can get one. But
Our Americanas, I mean, I don't know if it's the kind that you would like. I was raising my hand to try to get out. That's what I saw. She kept going. She kept going.
That's one of our Americanas right there. You can see it. That's not the.
Yeah.
And then the other one
Do
is.
that, Trash Panda. Do voiceovers for the fish.
I mean,
I need to start being better about doing it for the roosters.
So that's pretty much our.
We need to do Tiny and Red. I'll do Red
That's
voice.
most of them all together right there. Because I came out. I guess it was Monday. I came out and
They were all.
No, but you left this open.
And they were trying to go in there?
They went into it.
Oh, did they?
Yeah, they were all like they went over to the spot, where
And
the
saw them
shed
get
is,
in.
and they noticed it was open. Ellie went up in there, and it was, we just forgot
That
to
would be
close
kind
the
of
shed.
cool.
But that was it. That's the picture I took because that's what.
That's funny.
Yeah.
I didn't realize that they had gone up in there.
Well, it was like a whole new world to them because they go past that shed every day. It's just closed.
Yeah.
So I could see the Americanas going, and they were like, "Whoa, whoa, whoa! It's open."
That's what I was thinking. A couple of them, Red would come in if we let her. She's getting close to coming in. She comes in, looks in the door, and she's like, sees everything going on, and she's like, I could hang with you guys. Right?
Yep.
Tiny, I'm going to go up in here. And Tiny's like, no, you're not going in the house.
Yeah.
I am going in the house, Tiny.
Oh my God.
And you're going to wait right out here.
That's one of the.
That's a good picture.
That's the Americana right there in the front.
That's not the LeBron one.
No, and then the very back one. There's 3 of them there.
Thank
The
you,
back
Trash
one is
Can.
the one that passed away. The very back buff Brahma in the back.
Is that when his eyes was before?
No, that's the
Oh.
good one. That's the one
My
right
baby.
there.
It's
But
crazy.
let me see if I can find more.
It was a tumor.
It was a tumor.
As best we could tell, that's really what it was. She had it.
And there's a picture of the cat looking out the window and Tiny looking in.
And that's not even the brave cat. That's Storm.
Yeah.
Storm was like, you've got a lot of colorful feathers, I see. And he was like, Tiny was like, are you a threat to me? Oh, no.
No.
Storm's like, I'm not a threat to anybody.
I'm only a threat to myself.
Yeah, it sucks. That one, that hurt. Losing that Brahma hurt.
Yeah.
I mean, none of them were like easy, But we really, really wanted that one to make it. And there are times it looked like she could, and then it just...
Yeah, it sucked.
It sucked.
But that's really the only... I'll have to get a good picture of the Americana. But
I do think that would be kind of a cute tattoo, Sean.
It would.
You know the ones that they... Like at Hobby Lobby where they have the chickens with like attitudes where it's like an oil painting and the chicken would be like... You know what I mean? Like... Mm-hmm. That would be a cute tattoo, too. Right?
It would be.
They're so silly. Sean's silly, but he is a...
Look at the Trisha Paytas right here.
Trisha Paytas is trying to bring it out.
All right. Hold on. I'm trying to get back to our chat here.
Trisha Paytas, I heard, is really, really struggling for money right now. Because she can't do OnlyFans.
It's because she friggin' stayed in a $50,000 a night honeymoon place.
Yeah, she said they're still... Let me see real quick.
All right, here, hold on.
Hold on. I can't go back. Okay. Yeah, I know you probably already... I have the Phoenix right. I'm sure you already know, and that might have been what you were saying. It's so hard to, like, hold it.
Here.
But it's like this.
Can you see the Phoenix?
And then it says, it says, Still I Rise, and it's coming out of the AA triangle. And then this one right here, dude, I don't know. This guy just seemed like a nice guy.
Look.
I ran into him and I was like, hey, can I get your tattoo? Mm-hmm. Can I get your name? He's like, yeah, you can get my name.
You can even get me tattooed. You know what I didn't realize for a long time, and I did a semicolon, for suicide awareness. And
yeah, that's cool.
I never knew what that was.
I didn't either.
And then all of a sudden, you see people wear semicolons, and it just means...
But what is the meaning behind it?
It means
you're
there's
not
a
done
pause.
yet.
It's a pause.
But you're not done
it's
yet.
Where the story could have ended, but it didn't.
Okay.
That's what it means. That's what it stands for.
That's cool.
It is
I'd like
cool.
to
It's
do that.
very cool. Yeah.
Then I covered my ex-husband's name up on that one. And he had one similarly, not my ex-husband's name.
It made me automatically the biggest Falcons fan.
But it was a little bit of an icebreaker when he goes... I just got to tell you, I have this tattoo. This is when we first started. I'm like, it's like this one. And he was like, yeah.
Yeah, we have the same things.
It was funny. So we went together and had them covered up. And the beast hit the freaking roof. Oh, my God.
How dare I move on?
She said, we got Crayola color tattoos. I said, well, they were expensive. I hope they were a little bit better than that.
Let's see.
A semicolon is used when a sentence could have been ended, but wasn't. I want that T-shirt.
I know. That's why.
I want that T-shirt. That's very cool. I had no idea. Mm-hmm. I would see getting one like.
And there's the other
right
one.
here.
There's the other one that I liked.
Yeah, I like that one. But I could do a semicolon right here or right here.
Yeah, good.
Anyway. But here's the thing about under your. This is the thing. Yeah, she's very, very bitter. She's a salty, bitter bitch. Here's the other thing.
And Mandy's allowed to say that.
Yeah. Here's the tattoo. Every time I get a tattoo, I break out in hives.
Trash Bandit has I got your 6.
Every time. And I don't know why. The worst, I broke out when I got this one I broke out real bad in hives.
But didn't you say
it's like a histamine overload?
Yeah, no, but didn't you tell me it's like when they wear the latex gloves when they're working on it? I think that's what you said. Something about latex.
Maybe. I'm allergic to latex. It's a wonder I don't have 25,000 kids.
I know. It's just, that's the obvious thing that you can't use.
But I do like that. I'm gonna have to. If we both do a semicolon right here, well, you would do yours right there.
I would. Yeah, I would probably do it on the arm where I have it.
I do it right.
But
I like that.
So the girls that's like when you're out on dates and you're like, well, I'm allergic to latex. They're like, yes.
I know. Here's my question, because I hear this. People decide they want a baby and then they don't, but they don't want to be with them or whatever, so they go out and do a one night stand when they're ovulating, and then. Do men legit fall? Oh, I'm on the pill. Don't worry about it. Do men really just not use protection?
Yeah.
Because they believe when she says she's on the pill?
No, it's not that. I mean, you remember when we first got together and I had condoms, remember?
Yeah, I was laughing at that.
Well, yeah.
Condoms are for sale.
Because especially when you're young. especially when you're like a high school kid, and you got the one kid who's been carrying a condom around in his wallet for like 4 years, and it's got a little circle thing and an indentation in his wallet. It's just, and I'm
Well,
sorry,
you only
I know.
brought 3.
Well, Well, I know. I mean, it would last like the first hour.
I was
But
like,
no. But I know in my generation, in my school, and you described when you were in high school was very different in the '90s than it was in the '80s. We weren't very responsible like that. Guys weren't. I mean, we just weren't. We just weren't safe. And you're right. We're lucky there wasn't a whole lot more pregnancies, and just not just me. And it's not like you sit around with the guys don't sit around with their friends and go, you use we just don't talk about if we use protection or not. We don't.
I didn't know.
So and
that.
then Friday or Saturday nights at college, you're sitting around the kegger. You don't know you're going to hook up.
Yeah, we didn't. But we didn't even discuss it till like after the first time.
Yeah.
And I was like, really? And I was like, I'm not with anybody else. And he was like, me either. And I was like, so, and we want a baby, but
and I've had a vasectomy.
And I'm like, well, yeah, there's that. But
yeah,
even if there was a chance it would slip through.
I thought this just for me.
Well, I wasn't a pro.
Well, but my point is I just thought it was the respectful thing to do.
Probably.
And you see those and it's like, okay, but she was like, you can take those and just throw those back.
Yeah, I'm like,
you've had a vasectomy and I'm not out there with everybody, so let's just,
like, yeah, and it was like perfect or whatever. Yes. But I thought it was very cute.
I'm down with that too. I just take these and we'll like make
isn't
water
it
balloons
still
and
legal?
throw them out there.
Glitter warts, isn't it still legal? Isn't abortion still legal? I didn't do anything until I was 22. For real?
Go
but you.
But the thing is I can only go by like my experience. Sure, you thought about it and this and that, but we just weren't safe as teenagers. We weren't. It was way later on in life before it's like, we have kids and we try to advise our children. And they're like, well, you were safe. And it's like, well, no, but that's not the point.
Yeah.
It isn't.
Yeah, a lot of parents have the rules. You got to have 2 methods. So if you're on the pill, that's one method. You got to have a second one.
Yep.
I doubt that really happens.
Yeah, Danny says, 90s kids got scared with the AIDS thing. Yeah. So I was in high school from 82 to 87, because I went in 8th grade at my high school too. I was the last. So I was at the same high school for 5 years. And yeah, the AIDS thing was there.
It was there.
But it wasn't like permeating, urban Georgia, suburban Georgia. It wasn't there. Or it wasn't something that they were talking about.
Yeah.
And we didn't really think about wearing protection to prevent from disease. We were, from infection. We were wearing condoms so not to get pregnant.
Yeah.
We weren't even thinking about, and we risked the infection. We go get a shot or whatever. But the AIDS thing, you're right. So 90s AIDS was full on back then.
Well, and it was also, at least where I was, the whole true love waits was a big thing. Like, somehow, religion kind of seeped into the school, and there was a whole movement, true love waits. If you were having sex, you didn't let anybody know.
Yeah. It was, I mean,
it's just, you didn't let anyone know.
Yeah. I mean, I guess that's true. It wasn't anyone's business. Yeah. I mean, it wasn't like people changed serious boyfriends and girlfriends a lot in high school. I had a serious girlfriend and only one. So
yeah, when Magic Johnson came out that he had it and he was a straight male.
And that was early 90s or so?
Something like that.
I've
heard now that the virus isn't even detectable. He's had it, so am I right?
One of the buildings in my high school was Q building, and they got it on Q building every dang day. They got it on every morning, every dang day. Wow.
I heard outside the school, I went to the same high school that my kids went to, and I heard there was a trash can, big dumpster outside the ROTC building, and right in between there was always kids in there like it was a hotel room. Wow. And I remember my daughter was like, gross.
That is gross, man.
I was gross. Like, yeah, I don't know about in high school, if people said, are y'all having, no, No, we're not. You don't,
Yeah.
didn't admit to it or whatever.
I mean, when we were in high school, it was kind of like, are you in? Well, we've been dating for 5 months, so it's like, yeah, but it wasn't like that's just what everyone thought,
Yeah.
But you didn't like. How do I explain it? They didn't break up. Like if you broke up with someone in that high school, you didn't date anyone else. You had a boyfriend maybe in another high school or something like that. But
Really?
yeah, oh yeah.
Why?
It's just. I mean, we had I had a girlfriend, and I didn't really. I didn't have another girlfriend. I dated other people, but I wasn't like.
Oh, you mean if you were dating more than one person?
No. I'm like, so you had a serious like boyfriend girlfriend thing. It was kind of like, okay, so say somebody started dating in the 10th grade or whatever, and then they get to their senior year and say they break up. They wouldn't just date. They would start dating someone else in the school. It just didn't happen. It was just kind of like, this was just weird that way.
That is very strange.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Very, 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 very strange.
Yeah.
You about ready to call it a night?
We could.
I had fun though. We had a good time.
What did Danny say? Yeah, he's still, yeah. I mean,
Yes.
Danny, the whole Magic Johnson thing led me to believe that there were certain medications that were very expensive, but that the very affluent, and this could be total bullcrap. It could be total bullcrap, but it's just what I thought, because Magic Johnson was he HIV or did he have AIDS?
No, he never got past HIV.
Yeah, so why?
It was a time
It was sort of one of those things where you were almost, it's a death sentence if sooner or later you were going to contract AIDS, but he never did. Mm-hmm. So was he, number one, not telling us the complete truth, or was he able to go through some kind of therapy or medications that kept it at bay? And if he was able to do that, why can't other people?
I think some can. It's just
now
a costly
there is, yeah,
thing.
yeah. And so you see commercials now on TV about,
the regimen of medicine, and
that they can, if you have HIV, you could take this medicine, and it's a whole, just like any other commercial that for stuff. But anyway,
that's interesting, very interesting. But we will be back tomorrow. Tomorrow's
and
Friday.
Tomorrow's Friday, and I don't work. I don't think on Saturday so far. I don't think.
So we're going to be having we'll show you our Christmas stuff. We're going to hang out that card thing. Keep sending the cards to us. The P.O. boxes in the description, and we'll send one back to you. If you can't send one to us, that's okay. But just message us and let us know that
As
you
he
want
said,
one.
it was different times. It was a time of exploring. Yes, we made it through an hour, and we had no accidents. And
oh yeah, I was like, what?
We didn't. No one got hit with any bunk beds or anything like that.
Nothing like that.
Nobody.
Nothing like that.
And
now we'll go hit the bed.
We're gonna go hit something.
Y'all have a good night. We'll see you
See you
tomorrow.
guys. Bye.